I love games with lots of lore. The more lore a game has, the more game it is. That's what Shigeru Miyamoto said when he created Mario. So having just covered FNAF lore with absolutely no mistakes, I'm feeling pretty confident. I wanna tackle something bigger, something with more lore, something crazy, something no one's covered before. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over a classic game from all of our childhoods. My mic's peaking, hang on. I'm gonna go over a classic game from all of our childhoods. Maybe that's too much. Can you tell I'm making this in day of with like 2 hours until I leave for work? I'm covering Cobra Triangle for the NES. Game with tons of lore, needs no introduction. We all know what it is. It's a tragic tale filled with heartbreak, revenge, badass sea serpent dragons. We all know Cobra Triangle. We all love Cobra Triangle. What a great game. But today I'm gonna go a little deeper into the lore. Alright, we all know Cobra Triangle, but do you know what came after Cobra Triangle? The story surrounding the game, alright? It goes way further. And no one on the surface level internet is gonna tell you this. That's why you come to me, Cyan Crockemeyer, for this kind of info. Alright. So, the most obvious place to start would be the sequel to Cobra Triangle. And that is, of course, the 2018 Netflix show, Cobra Kai. Right? It follows like One Piece logic, where like the first name is the last name. So Cobra Kai is the son of Cobra Triangle, and he's going on an adventure in the new era to finish what his father started. Right? Makes total sense to me. I don't know what else the show could be about. I love that scene. Spoilers, of course. When Cobra Triangle comes back. Excuse me, I don't know what happened. When Cobra Triangle comes back, and he dies, and he tells his son, "Oh, Cobra Kai, you must carry out my will. You must avenge me." Ugh, and then he dies. It's so sad. Oh, I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Oh my goodness. I've definitely seen the show, and I definitely know what it's about. It's about Cobra Triangle for the NES. Anyways, so that's, Cobra Kai, pretty self-explanatory. Sequel takes place, what, like 30 years later or something? That's when 2018 is compared to 1989. Well, that'd be like 40 years. Is it? Can I do math? I think it is 30 years. I think I was right the first time. Anyways. The next game, this next one's a game, is, of course, Triangle Strategy, right? Once again, I've definitely played it. It's definitely based on Cobra Triangle for the NES. Takes all the familiar characters, all the familiar locations we know, puts them in a strategy game like Final Fantasy Tactics. A modern retelling of this classic story. Absolutely phenomenal game. I knew the folks behind Octopath Traveler are the right ones to be, adapting Cobra Triangle, the greatest game ever made. So that's really cool to see. Kind of interesting they went with a strategy game, whereas the first game's a racing game, according to Google. But you know what? I think it works. I think it's a well-needed shift in genre to keep up with the modern gaming landscape, because there's so many strategy games out today. Anyways, now we're getting into an interesting one. I don't think a lot of people know this, since it never got an official Western release. We're talking about the 2019 TV show Kamen Rider Build, where Cobra Triangle comes back from the dead. But this time he is called Evil Cobra, and he has a new son named Banjo. Now this is an interesting reference, because of course, Cobra Triangle is... YouTube pop up. Cobra Triangle is made by Rare. And what are Rare known for? Well, obviously, Banjo-Tooie, right? So it's a subtle little nod, and it makes the watchers think, oh, maybe I should go back and play Banjo-Tooie. And then you realize, oh my goodness, Banjo-Tooie's canon too. It's all connected. And so, you know, I'm gonna dip my toes into a little speculation here. But I think it's not just Banjo-Tooie. I think the entire Donkey Kong Country series is also canon to understanding the Cobra Triangle lore. But I haven't figured out how, alright? I'm still working on that, but I'm gonna do like a follow-up to this video. Cobra Triangle Part 2, Cobra, Parallelogram. Once I figure out how, you know, Donkey Kong Country ties into it and all that fun stuff. Anyways, back to the canon material though. We have, of course, Cobra Triangle has crossed over with the Mysterians, 1957. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. I mean, what hasn't had a crossover with the Mysterians? I mean, it's crossed over with Godzillaland, Godzilla Battle Line, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Minecraft, your washing machine. You know, everything's crossed over with the Mysterians. It's a big multiverse thing, but not, you know, not too crucial to understanding the Cobra Triangle lore. What is crucial, though, is Pizza Tower. Of course, Pizza Tower is canon to Cobra Triangle, because John Rareware himself confirmed that the game takes place in Crust Cove. That really, you know, that was a bombshell when I heard that. That deepens the lore so much. The whole thing takes place in the Pizza Tower. You know, crazy layers going on there. I think everyone should go play Pizza Tower. It's available on Steam, and then you should look for the deep Cobra Triangle lore. You know, how does Peppino and Friends tie into the Cobra Triangle lore? I know how they do, but I'm gonna leave that to you. This is an interactive video now. Go do it, and then report your findings in the comments or something. I don't know. Anyways, you know what other game has a little Easter egg that hints back at Cobra Triangle? That's right, indie classic Cave Story. So in Cave Story, if you beat the boss Ironhead without taking any damage, you get the alien medallion. But did you know, if you beat Ironhead while taking -1 damage, you get the Cobra Triangle medallion. This is real. This is canon. This means that Cobra Triangle went to the Cave Story floating island before the events of the game, and perhaps even had a hand in creating the Demon Crown? I don't know. Maybe when Nicalis finally releases more Cave Story things, like that RPG they teased forever ago, we'll finally get the answers. So that covers almost all of my canon material. So if you'll allow me, I'd like to go back into a little bit of speculation territory time. All right. The Legend of Zelda. We all know it. We all love it. What does it center around? Yeah, triangles. See where I'm going with this? Yeah, listen, nothing's been confirmed, but I think it's pretty obvious. Plus, there's that part in Link: The Faces of Evil, where he flies over all those heads. I don't know, it seems to be like that's the faces of, not the faces of evil, they're the faces of people who couldn't beat Cobra Triangle in the NES and got turned to stone. Because that's what happens, right? I don't know, I just think it makes a little bit more sense than, you know, filling in some of the gaps like the Cobra Triangle theorists are doing. I don't know, that's just me. It's just me and my controversial game lore opinions, I guess. But anyways, to wrap things up, We've got the final crossover that I could find. The final hint at the deep Cobra Triangle story. All right. This one's gonna convince you. Okay, this one ties it all together. This is like my best piece of evidence yet. Neon Genesis Evangelion.